Hello and welcome to the next ReeVlog. I thought I was recording this when I originally set off, but thankfully lots of traffic means I got stuck at the lights and could stop and start the recording and go, which is good. So, quick recap of what I was saying for the last couple minutes that apparently I wasn't recording. I finished giving the blood. I was there for about an hour and 40 minutes total. A lot of that was before and after. The actual blood givingness, that didn't take very long. I've always been relatively quick in terms of my bleeding for donations. I think it's just, I try my best to stay hydrated and my heart isn't incredibly weak. Fagmon stimulants probably help with that at the minute. Then the actual questioning that they do, you get a person come over, they pull you, they're like, what's your name, address, date of birth? You give it to them and then they make a copy of a document and then they carry it over and put you in a little booth and say, what's your name, address and date of birth? Even though you've just followed them into the booth. And they go through the sheet with you, they do your iron or hemoglobin tests, etc. Blah, 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 blah. And at the that questioning process was really fucking long compared to what it was last time I donated. And then they had to get a nurse in rather than the general blood assistant person because I am on prescribed medication, and so they needed to go through that and make sure it was all fine. I have in the past, and this question I don't think was on the questionnaire previously, there's a, have you ever had surgeries, investigations, etc., like medically speaking? I was like, yes. Who the fuck hasn't? Like, if you go to the doctors for a cold when you're 2, I say 2, when you're 4, because you're not going to remember if you were 2, do you need to state that? So I made it clear when I was speaking to the nurse, like, here is a list of things, but it may not be complete, because throughout my whole life, I've been to the doctors for various things, and I've probably forgotten some of them. So I mentioned like my floating rib, the chronic fatigue, my asthma, and the fact that I have an upcoming appointment, which is one of the questions, about my schnoz. But they gave me the all clear. Then I had to wait for a chair and someone to come over to stab me, which was more painful than usual, or than my memory, at least. I don't know if it's because I currently weigh less, there's less padding, whether they were a bit rougher, whether the needle wasn't as sharp, or if I'm just being a pansy. Who knows? But whatever, it's fine. It wasn't like majorly painful, but I winced a little bit, which is unusual. Usually I'm just like, yes, I've been impaled. Thanks, Olaf. But the actual giving blood didn't take too long, and then I chatted with a animator afterwards at the food and drink table. I got some ginger nuts and some crisps. Haven't actually eaten all of the ginger nuts, all 3 of the ginger nuts in that pack, and I haven't eaten any of the crisps yet. But I had my water, and I've eaten 2 of the 3 ginger nuts, I think, because I was having a good old chat about writing and side projects and university stuff. 2 people noted my UEA hoodie and was like, oh, you go to UEA? I was like, I used to. Obviously, I look very youthful. Duh. But then I was like, right, I need to go because it's 20 past 4. So I'm not actually sure how long it took start to finish the actual donation and stuff. If I did my usual thing of staying and not being super sociable-ish, then perhaps I would have got out sooner. There's no perhaps about it. I definitely would have gotten out sooner. And I probably would have finished all those ginger nuts before I left. I do have the other one with me, just to make that clear. But post-donation, I've not got any of the negative side effects so far that I can tell. No lightheadedness or anything like that, which is surprising because I lied a little bit when I gave blood. I haven't eaten a lot before giving blood today. I just didn't have the time after getting up. And I over-exaggerated how much I drank. I had drank before I left the flat, just not as much as I insinuated. And then, yeah, currently no negative side effects. Arm's a little sore, but overall okay. They said to leave the thing uncovered. I haven't done that, but they didn't complain when I put the cover on as I was leaving. Like, I put my sleeve on in clear view. Oh look, more roadworks. Need to make a note of those. Clear view of the overseer, for lack of a better term, at the food drink table. And yeah, I am sweating a smidge. I seem to have stopped, but when I first started recording, or when I thought I first started recording, when I got in the car to go, I was sweating a little bit, but I think that might have just been like a social anxiety type symptom, as I'm pretty confident that is a symptom of anxiety, and I was pushing the boat and being sociable a bit, which isn't something I usually do. So yeah, I don't feel necessarily better immediately having given blood. I am more awake, but I've been awake longer, I've eaten more, I've been stabbed, which, you know, all of those things probably help with rousing someone from being tired. I say being awake longer helps. There is a definite turning point on that one, but I feel like, you know, if you get woken up by an alarm, it takes a while to fully awaken. And also the ADHD medication has probably kicked in more strongly because I took it before I left. Yeah, definitely don't feel any worse. Might feel a little better, more so than just being awake, but not really a definitive amount of change there. Going to my grandparents' home to see them and me mum before I head off, well, before I get changed and then head off to work. And yeah, then I've got work. So hopefully it's going to be pretty easy. I got a tiny bit of writing done, but just a tiny bit whilst I was waiting, because filling in the forms took a little while. I tried to give the clipboard and stuff back, but it said just to hold on to it. Something I need to keep in mind for when I next give blood, because now I know that I can give blood whilst chronic fatigue is a thing. I'm going to get back to it, you know? And yeah, I think that this is something that I need to keep an eye on. Ooh, that was just a little twang of something that felt a bit like a headache. Hopefully that's just like a dehydration thing, because I've lost a pint, a litre, however much blood it is they take. And I need to refill it. You know, I've had that cup of water they gave me, but I need more fluids. Thankfully, my grandparents are fucking great at that. So I will be getting those, most likely. You never know, they might not be there, but if they're not, I can shoot off to my mother's and yoink some of her stuff. Wow, traffic. I'm going. Whew! Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Anything else blood giving related? I don't think so. No, there are probably the other things that in my pre-blood giving vlog that isn't uploaded yet. I need to, or wanted to discuss, but that's not this vlog. I'm not going to have time to do another one today, and I probably won't have enough time to do another one this week. Quick rundown of why I'm probably not going to have time to do another one this week is tomorrow I have all of the first day off work stuff that I need to do, which is mobility assessments and work. I have double checking through all of my emails and stuff because I kind of messed up the notifications, so I need to actually look at them. And I've got a lot of emails these days that actually need looking at, so I've got that on a Dragon Age world. Don't know if it's paid or unpaid. Need to do looking at it, look at what's available. Apparently they've got like 30 roles available, so that's a lot of work. And that's probably going to be a post Kung Fu job, just because of how long it would take to do it pre Kung Fu. And then I have Kung Fu. Because I have Kung Fu, that means I've got to come see my family, like my mum, my grandparents, my brother, beforehand, which means I need to leave way early, which means I'm really going to have not a lot of time after I've woken up to get up and do stuff. Hence why the VA stuff's going to have to be afterwards, so it's probably most of the mobility work. And then I need to relax. Tomorrow is one of my relaxation days, even though I've got all of those things to do. And then the rest of the week is similarly busy. I've got my birthday, then I've got my birthday celebration, and I've got a friend visiting. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go, so I'll catch you cats on the flip-flop, and goodbye.